Students in Leh caught with homebrew. Volunteer village health workers saving lives. And UPNG's 63rd graduation after unrest.
This is National MTV News with Helen Sayer.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Saturday's news. 13 high school students in Leh were caught drinking homemade liquor yesterday and were brought to the Leh Central Station. Tent City Police Station Commander Sergeant Graham Boram said they were conducting their foot patrols when they came across the students.
These students were caught by the Tent City Police and brought to the Leh Central Station. Amongst them were 10 females and 2 males. 3 others were identified to be non-students.
Majority inside are students of Pumayong Secondary. I think 2 or 3 platas all mo outside
The police, who were dressed in civilian clothes, were conducting their Friday foot patrols when they found this group.
So time me play walk about the backside, me play dress up for same because me play like catchimon. Me play was straight only start drink. Na 2 way go what drunk only go finish.
After they were processed by the juvenile officers, they were released into their parents' custody. The juvenile officer says since they were first-time offenders, they were not charged. They will be visiting the juvenile office for counselling for 2 days a week for 1 month.
Community must have police now one about the leg. You know, one about the car, no, leg from house to house.
Lucy Kupana, National MTV News, Leh.
Women in Savisa village in Hanganofi district, Eastern Highlands province have been volunteering as village health workers. About 138 of these women volunteer to assist pregnant mothers and mothers of newly born babies to provide basic health care. Despite the lack of proper road links to many of these remote villages, the volunteers have managed to save a lot of mothers and babies who could have easily lost their lives.
For these women, walking for long distances is not an issue when it comes to helping pregnant mothers and mothers of newly born babies to get medical help. Even at nights, when they hear a woman needs help, they leave their homes to help out. Many of these village health volunteers are widows, single mothers and divorcees, and they say they do not expect anything in return but find joy in saving lives.
I got BBA lo 1 man place, 1 man community. Also now also pain in BBA. Time all pain in mi pla to escort him all na kolo house. Bring him all kolo house.
The village of Savisa in the Hanganofi district, Eastern Highlands province, is a clean model village under UNICEF. The village health volunteers have been trained by UNICEF to provide basic health care to mothers and babies because accessing health services for many in remote villages is often difficult.
No gat sabe blo mi pla all place mama mi pla sawoki garden na kaikele. So planti all work mi pla sa meki mi o se mi pla sawoki lo level blo mi pla woki pledge blo mi pla o se mi pla no work lo money na cargo. Mi pla work lo saving life lo mama na baby. Mi pla kama po select na handle health center se
health workers.
Wana apo na lek dol go sote mi pla stape mi pla listal mama ya.
Every month, these volunteers travel to Goroka town for refresher courses at the General Hospital.
Mi pla tu mama na mi pla savelo life when now mi pla stape. When em need mi pla all need him to mi pla tu mi pla sa film lem santin so mi pla hama mas lo woki disla wok na mi pla sa wokim.
At times, some of these women are escorted by their husbands to transfer pregnant mothers to the hospitals or the nearest health centers.
When I'm have fun, I'm sabe go logan. We sabe Karim talk sabe. Lo walk about lo Krami Mountain, broken water, broken bush. Na help him all talk sabe all mama.
Mi plus sabe also make him good walk. So mi plus support na mi walk about one time.
All these are dedicated towards ending maternal and neonatal deaths in PNG. UNICEF estimates that 5,000 to 6,000 neonates die every year from mainly preventable causes. This UNICEF states that is primarily due to the insufficient attention given to babies and mothers during the first 28 days. UNICEF's work in many rural parts of PNG aims to end preventable deaths among newborn and children under 5 years and to reduce mortality rates in the country. Stacey Yallo, National MTV News.
About 350 registered participants within the city and around the country travelled to Port Moresby to attend the tri-annual Urban Region Men's Fellowship Convention. The United Church West Port Moresby Circuit at Hanuabada will be hosting this 4th regional convention. The opening service for the convention will begin this evening at Tatana Village.
This is the 4th tri-annual Urban Men's Fellowship Convention that will convene tonight at Tatana Village. The host, West Port Moresby Circuit, is expecting over 300 participants from within NCD and nationwide.
About 40 from Morobay, 1 from Medang, 1 from Vanimo, 6 from Goroka Eastern Highlands, and the bulk is from Port Moresby.
This convention will be a week-long one, consisting of biblical teachings, 2 main outreaches, awareness, and encouraging men to live right.
Women issues that, so we're trying to, while we have the Bible studies that are on, we try to address issues or make awareness as to the things, the issues that are affecting menfolk within our society now, today.
With the theme of "Whom shall I send? Here I am, send me," coming from the book of Isaiah, Urban Men's Fellowship Coordinator, Reverend Lahui Vai, wants men to realize how unique they are.
It's all about men. Man is so unique. Man has to take the rightful place as the image, created in the image and likeness of God. They are so unique. So man has to take the rightful place now.
This convention will end next week, Thursday. Lilian Soperakinea, National, MTV News.
The University of Papua New Guinea graduated over 1,000 students from its 5 schools at its 63rd graduation ceremony yesterday. The graduation proceeded in 2 sessions, seeing the School of Business and Public Policy, Humanities and Social Sciences and Law graduate in the morning, and School of Medicine and Health Sciences and Natural and Physical Sciences in the afternoon. ECP Governor Alan Bird, guest speaker in session 2, encouraged the science and medical graduates to never stop learning.
There have been so many negative events that have affected these students who walked in their blue gowns to get their degree. This is the first graduation after the student protest in 2016. 1,065 students in the 5 schools at the premier University of Papua New Guinea finally received their degrees yesterday. East Sepik Governor Alan Bird, guest speaker for the afternoon session, addressed the graduates, saying the easiest part is now over. The hardest part is yet to come. He also encouraged them to never stop learning.
It will not put food on your table. It will not get you promoted. It will not give you the comfortable life that you dreamed about. How your future opens up for you will depend very much on you.
The Australian government representative, Will Robinson, applauded the graduates and was impressed that more women were pursuing higher degrees in sciences.
A good many women graduating today. Your achievements give us hope because the participation of women in professional life is essential to a modern and well-functioning society and a great indicator of future prosperity for the people of Papua New Guinea.
Graduating earlier in the first session, Lawrence Nicholas, who just got his 2nd degree in economics, was excited to go back into the workforce.
This time I have a dream to pursue my career in public workforce.
Marisha Angopa, a business management graduate, was grateful to both her parents and God that she was able to finally graduate.
So I would want to to do more about planning, to look into planning and look at innovative ideas to help our country's governance system and all this.
Her parents were very proud of her for enduring the almost 5 years of university.
Parents are feeling proud of her achievement and coming up with a bachelor's degree here means a lot to us, the family. And
struggle time since before last year when we had the unrest here at UPNG, but at last she has managed to pass all the requirements and was able to get a paper today.
Lilian Soperakinea, National EMTV News.
The University of Papua New Guinea presented a higher academic award to a long-serving professor division in the School of Natural and Physical Sciences Division of Earth Sciences, Professor Hugh Davies. Professor Davies has been in Papua New Guinea since 1975. He arrived in the country when he was 23 years old and has been the head of the UPNG Geology Department for 29 years. He was presented the Emeritus Professorship Award in recognition of his distinguished contribution to the field of geology in PNG and UPNG at the university's 63rd graduation ceremony yesterday. Davies will return to Australia with his wife Connie Liu in July. 2 10-foot containers of relief supplies were donated to communities affected by the recent 7.5 magnitude earthquake in southern Highlands. The supplies donated by people from the Eastern Highlands province included beddings, mosquito nets and garden produce, along with 50,000 kina in cash. These items were presented earlier this week when Eastern Highlands Governor Peter Numu and a team from the province visited Mendi.
The team from Eastern Highlands include members of the Provincial Administration, the Provincial Disaster Office, representatives from NGOs, churches and students from the University of Goroka. Much of the relief supplies were collected from primary schools, churches and business houses in Goroka town. The team were welcomed in Mendi by Southern Highlands Provincial Disaster Coordinator Peter Wari. After a few short speeches, the relief supplies were handed over to the Southern Highlands Provincial Government. They will later be distributed to affected communities. Southern Highlands was one of the 7 provinces affected by the earthquake in February. From statistics collected after the earthquake, 45 people were killed, while close to 270,000 others were affected in Southern Highlands alone. Thekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. We'll take a look at the day's other stories when we come back from this short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. 13 branch presidents and 7 regional representatives were sworn into the PNG Nurses Association yesterday. This is following the swearing-in ceremony of the national president and treasurer earlier this month. The representatives travelled in from their respective provinces to attend what was their first Congress executive meeting.
Giving back to the members is PNG NA's national president's mission. He wants to work closely with his new executive team to ensure that all members directly benefit from the association's work.
In my time as a national president, I would like to see the stability in the leadership and continuity of the union activities are maintained, sustained and carried forward to a higher level in achieving the maximum benefits for the financial members. This means that the 2% members' contributions must be given back to the members in a form of tangible developments to benefit them directly, apart from ongoing benefits they normally receive through national awards and professional activities such as nurses symposium and legal assistance. I also want to see that less is spent on administrative operations and NEC meetings, and to ensure that branch and regional executives are empowered financially to maintain the provincial and regional office by reaching out to the financial members in the remote, isolated rural areas.
PNG NA Highlands representative Lensen Hinanu has been a long-serving member of the association. He was very impressed with the changes that have evolved over the years.
Salary into that arrangement, so we build our financial capacity in that way. The main funding for the association comes from the member support, and now we have an established office with workers working, and we have some schemes like welfare schemes, insurance cover, and housing schemes that now we are rolling it out to the country, into the provinces.
Southern Highlands Branch President Bendik Laba expressed that since the 7.5 magnitude earthquake in February, the health workers in Southern Highlands, although still in shock, are still maintaining their services.
Still in shock, actually. Our nurses are also being affected. Not only nurses, but doctors, all the health workers. Because they are shift workers, although they have this problem, but yet they still come to work. Our shift work is still maintained. The benefit of the disaster and emergency donations and fundings and all this, we actually probably most of those things are going to Pimagat, Tari, and
the PNG Nurses Association has achieved a lot and continue to strive for progress.
Needed to represent the nurses around the country. The trust and confidence invested in us can have greater impact, and we can make a difference only if we are united as one family, building our fundamental upon trust, honesty, teamwork, and integrity.
Lilian Sopera Kinea, National MTV News.
3 midwifery students at the University of Goroka have been put off payroll after they decided to pursue their studies despite being employed at the Wabeg Provincial Hospital. The 3 female students who had secured a full scholarship with UNICEF say they had followed all requirements, but the hospital had denied them a chance. Nevertheless, the girls have managed to survive the years of studies at the university, and they are looking forward to graduating and returning to work at the same hospital.
Since the inception of midwifery studies at the University of Goroka, Northern Province has been the only province in PNG funding its students to undertake midwifery studies. For Letty, Daisy and Miriam, the hospital they had served for many years had not been fair to them.
We have been serving the public servant for more than 5 years. But what they did, it's really affecting us. I'm also very thankful for the UNICEF for the board and lodging and everything.
Every after 2 years, all the public servants must go for further studies. Therefore, I went and asked I thought that I have to come for study because my province was lacking midwives. There is not enough midwives in my province, in my districts, and even in my rural health facilities.
Miriam has been working at the Wabeg General Hospital for 5 years, while Letty worked for 4 years and Daisy 3 years. They said they feel the hospital had been unfair to them by putting them off payroll. They said the hospital said it had no funding, but this year the Wabeg General Hospital has fully sponsored 5 students to the same university whilst keeping them on payroll.
CEO said they will not sponsor us because according to their meeting or policy has been passed, which they mentioned that 2017 to 2018 they will not sponsor any staff from Wabeg General Hospital. So I further asked them if they can let me go with my base salary. Then they gave me 2 options, mentioning one, whether I want to go for studies without pay, which is leave without pay, or go for studies while upon resigning basis.
The girls said securing funding to study midwifery was difficult, and when UNICEF gave them a chance, they had to take the offer.
It's not about money or everything, but we are concerning about the lives of our mothers and the babies in the country, especially in the Highlands region.
Nevertheless, their 18 months of studies will lapse in June, and they are looking forward to returning to their home province in Enga to continue serving their province at the Warburg General Hospital. Stacey Yallo, National EMTV News.
Deputy Speaker of the National Parliament and member for NEPA Kutubu Jeffrey Kumar was officially sworn as the District Development Authority Chairman. The member's swearing in completes all NEPA Kutubu DDA members taking the official oath to build the district. The ceremony was witnessed in NEPA on Wednesday this week as the DDA Chairman urged all to make NEPA Kutubu a model for an agent of change.
It's his second term as the member for NEPA Kutubu, and the support displayed on Wednesday was an indication of the belief the people had in their member to effectively deliver. Taking a walk through the district station to NEPA's Treasury office, where the swearing-in took place, the member was flanked by the district's 5 LLG presidents and DDA members. The swearing-in confirms the commitment to continue working towards building NEPA Kutubu into a model district. After taking his oath witnessed and facilitated by the Mendi magistrate, the NEPA Kutubu MP was ushered outside to publicly address his people on the way forward for the electorate, while others gave their backing.
Election time's already gone. As of today, going forward, we won't talk about the elections, but we will talk about service delivery. Emi appeal below me, long you blow honorable presidents. Now you blow all public servant, blow NEPA Kutubu. But you me hold him hand one time. Now walk one time. Now keep up in place. You support the Musa Ruset, I mean no problem. I'm democratic right belong you. You support him. But today, time you mix him sworn in, you mix him talk promise. Long serving more people.
Godwin Eki, National EMTV News.
Allegations of mismanagement and gross deprivation of student rights will be immediately addressed at the NEPA Secondary School in the Southern Highlands Province. The dire plight of NEPA Secondary surfaced publicly recently during the official swearing-in of the District Development Authority Chairman Jeffrey Kumar. A determined NEPA Secondary School SRC president led a peaceful march to the swearing-in ceremony as a plea for immediate assistance.
The persistent chanting couldn't go ignored, and students representing the NEPA Secondary School were invited to take their issues to the member for NEPA Kutubu to address. The pressing issues for the students is the alleged misuse of school funding, unanswered questions as to why grade 10 and 12 students weren't allowed to sit for the 2017 national exams, and why there are 3 principals running the affairs of the school, and the fact that there is also a shortage of teachers. 4 points of terms of reference were given to the member: 1, to revoke all appointments of principal appointing authority from provincial headquarters to the national government, an immediate audit and investigation by the Education Minister into the affairs of NEPA Secondary, an investigation into why grades 10 and 12 students weren't allowed to sit for the 2017 exams, and a request to remove the grade 11 and 12 component of NSS to a school of excellence. NEPA Kutubu MP Jeffrey Kumar stressed the allegations of misuse and mismanagement will be a thing of the past as the DDA strives to immediately address the school's issues.
Suppose we need lo behind him all Sumatin all select him long lo must be long, let it be so. Let him you me kiss him this law land as all. Why not mandabim now give him more heavy law this la 1+ school. So by me write him pass, do it more formal. Now me blow bakaran this la all heavy blow school blow you me long appropriate authorities. Now at the same time law level blow me blow also education minister now.
Godwin Eki, National EMTV News.
Unit commanders from the different divisions in the PNG Defence Force have come up with project proposals to improve leadership skills in their divisions. This follows a workshop on developing leadership skills at all levels in the Defence Force. PNG Defence Force Commander Gilbert Toropo says the workshop is important as PNGDF transforms into a well-established military.
The 5-day development workshop was conducted with the help from the New Zealand Army. It aims to equip commanding officers in each division in the PNG Defence Force with high leadership qualities. They include commanding officers from the 2 naval bases, Air Transport Wing, the Engineering Battalion and the 2 infantry battalions.
The outcome of the 5 days workshop was for each one of them to come up with a project proposal that they need to deliver to the units of the PNG Defence Force.
In the last 4 years, the PNG Defence Force, under Commander Toropo's leadership, has started developing initiatives to improve discipline and ensure PNGDF transitions into a well-established military. For those in the Army, it has developed the Company of Excellence, while for those in the Navy, the Ship of Excellence.
My objective in public service is all about training and building the capability and capacity. Not only in terms of leadership, but I think it's also about life skill. I think one person is complete if he or she has the life skill. I think this course, I understand, has given you many things to be able to provide that leadership in our defense organization.
Chief Secretary Isaac Lupari officially closed the workshop yesterday. Tekla Gunga, National NTV News.
You're at Saturday's News. We'll take a look at stories making headlines overseas when we come back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the news. Turning overseas now, never before has the Queen explicitly stated that she wants Prince Charles to succeed her as head of the Commonwealth. But she did at what could be the last heads of government meeting that she presides over. Her statement is unprecedented as the role was never meant to be hereditary, but the decision is not hers to make. It's up to Commonwealth leaders.
A wee shimmy at the door.
The Prime Minister of New Zealand and Mr Clark gave.
And announced before entering the Queen's sitting room. Handshakes, a curtsy and bow for Her Majesty. It's such a pleasure. Thanks for having us, said the Prime Minister. Have you had a busy day, asked the Queen. Yes. And so too has the monarch, for the first time publicly talking about her mortality.
It is my sincere wish that the Commonwealth will continue to offer stability and continuity for future generations, and will decide that one day the Prince of Wales should carry on the important work started by my father in 1949.
Commonwealth leaders decide tomorrow who will be head of the Commonwealth when the Queen dies.
My whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service.
She took over from her father, the King, when she was 21, but it's not a hereditary title. Jacinda Ardern is a Republican. She believes New Zealand shouldn't be ruled by the monarchy, but is still supporting Prince Charles for the job.
My particular views does not change the respect that I have for Her Majesty and for her family and for the work that they've done for New Zealand.
Ardern has had the most politically public pregnancy. Announced as one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people, the pregnancy was mentioned in there too. The Queen knows it well, having raised 4 children in the spotlight.
Here is a remarkable leader who has conducted her life in the full view of the public, and that has included raising her children, and there's something to be admired in that.
The Commonwealth meeting is a very big, very public stage.
May I invite you all to join me in a toast to the Commonwealth, towards a common future.
After Buckingham Palace, Jacinda Ardern visits another of the Queen's houses. She'll be holed up all day at Windsor Castle for the Leaders' Retreat. After day one of Choggum, the royal opening, royal meeting, royal lunch and posh royal dinner, Ardern royally deserved to slap on her slippers.
A Russian investigative journalist has died after falling from his fifth-floor apartment, which some believe was no accident. Maxim Borodin had recently reported about the deaths of Russian mercenaries in Syria, a story authorities didn't want revealed.
This is a tribute video made by the friends of Maxim Borodin, a tribute to a fine journalist who had been making a name for himself, exposing things that the Russian government did not want to be exposed. 2 months ago, US forces in Syria repelled an attack by Russian mercenaries who were working for a private firm called Wagner. Many were killed, and while Moscow had wanted to keep that quiet, Maxim Borodin tracked down the names and the graves of some of those who died. It is possible that he paid for that reporting with his life. Last week, Borodin, just 32 years old, fell from this balcony outside his fifth-floor apartment. There were no witnesses, and the authorities quickly ruled it suicide. But his friend, Vyacheslav Bashkov, who showed me where it happened, tells of a call he received the night before the fall, in which Borodin told him there were men wearing uniforms and ski masks outside his apartment. It was 5 in the morning when he called and asked me to call a lawyer, he said. There were people in camouflage outside his door. He thought at any moment they were going to come in and demand to search his apartment. Less than 24 hours later, Maxim was lying fatally injured on the dark earth 5 floors below. He was buried beside his father. Colleagues who have seen the autopsy report, the same colleagues who placed writers' quills and newsprint on his coffin, say there was no trace of drink or drugs in his system. Family and friends of Maxim Borodin, who have just buried him in this bleak forest near the Ural Mountains, want answers. Their fear is that they won't get them, that the authorities will simply close the book on this, call it an accident, suicide, anything to make the issue go away.
Prosecutors investigating the death of superstar musician Prince say no criminal charges will be filed over his drug overdose. After a 2-year investigation, they say it's likely Prince had no idea he was taking a counterfeit pill containing fentanyl. A warning: this report contains police videos showing Prince's body after he died.
2 years after the mysterious death of this musical legend, new video released today shows what investigators found at Prince's Paisley Park mansion. The singer's lifeless body sprawled in front of an elevator, prescription pill bottles in his recording studio. Investigators say some were counterfeit painkillers laced with fentanyl.
In all likelihood, Prince had no idea he was taking a counterfeit pill that could kill him.
Prosecutors said today they are no closer to discovering how this superstar got the tainted pills.
The bottom line is that we simply do not have sufficient evidence to charge anyone with a crime related to Prince's death.
This announcement came hours after it was revealed Minnesota doctor Michael Schulenberg agreed to pay $30,000 to settle a federal civil case. Prosecutors say Schulenberg put Prince on the opioid oxycodone a week before his death. But to protect Prince's privacy, Schulenberg wrote out the prescription to Prince's friend, Kirk Johnson.
I've been here 30 years.
We spoke with Johnson last year.
Anything that you wish you had done personally to stop his drug use?
Oh, my goodness. Next.
You don't feel like people enabled him?
Next.
You're with the news. We go for a break now, but don't go away. Chukai Sports is coming up next.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. To tennis, over 50 kids were at the Port Moresby Rackets Club today for their usual tennis clinic. Unlike other weekends, this time PNG International tennis professional and Kina ambassador Abigail Terapisa was present to coach the kids through the basics.
Every Saturday, kids between the ages of 3 to 16, along with their parents, gather at the Port Moresby Records Club for tennis coaching sessions. And today's session saw PNG International Tennis Pro Abigail Terry Apisa running the kids through some of the basics of tennis. The program itself is usually run by Abigail's parents and the two first Papua New Guinean qualified tennis coaches, Kwalam and Verenagi Apisa.
We have this program every Saturday from 8:30 to 11, I would say, and today wasn't any different, except we were really thankful to have my sponsors Kina Bank to come on board and sponsor today's event with refreshments and giving out t-shirts to the kids.
With the aim of teaching the children at an early age the basics of the sport, the tennis pro believes that is the first part of the development process. Though Abigail admits turning into pros takes a lot of time and there has to be somewhere they can start, and that is exactly what this program is about.
Well, I think I've said this time and time again, you know, a lot of the kids here are unable to come every day, I guess because financially or transportation wise, or, you know, parents have got work in the afternoon, so it's hard for these kids to come every day. So on Saturdays we try to have this, we create this program so it allows parents to be able to bring their kids down in the mornings. And I think, you know, we can't expect these kids to become professionals by just playing once a week. It's just not going to happen. So I think the overall aim and goal of this program is, you know, to introduce the sport to you know, people in Papua New Guinea, but also, you know, gives them an opportunity to just like get out of the house, meet new people, and basically just learn the sport.
Abigail explains that due to age variations, the type of basics taught during the clinics varies.
Well, we usually split them up in the different age groups or their ability even, and we have about, I would say, 5 to 7, 4 head coaches, 4 senior coaches, and then 5 or 6 assistants, and we split each coach up with different age group, and then we work accordingly. So whatever the elite group do, you know, obviously that's different to what the little 4-year-olds are doing, yeah.
While the kids walk away from today's session with some valuable tips, the tennis pro is now getting ready to embark on her next international circuit.
I'm actually here for a couple more days, and then I leave to Japan on Wednesday for a month, and then from Japan I head over to England.
Dinero Striker, National EMTV Sports.
The National Soccer League defending champions Toti City FC have continued on with their unbeaten run in NSL, defeating Besta PNG United 3-0 in Lae. Coming off a draw from last weekend's game against Southern Strikers, Toti City upset Besta on their playground at the PNG FAA Academy. Toti were dominant, with their attacking forwards having a clear shot on Besta's goalmouth on numerous occasions. After pulling off 3 goals on target, the young Besta outfit could not recover from the deficit despite going down fighting. To Rugby League, the SP-PNG Hunters have so far won 2 home matches and lost 4 away games after round 6 of the Intrust Super Cup 2018 season. The results have raised fans' eyebrows and sparking speculation that the 2017 Intrust Super Cup champions were slipping off the radar. In an interview with FM 100's Talkback show host Douglas Dimagi, coach Michael Marum spoke of the team's struggles to maintain consistency.
Maintaining the same 13-member team every weekend is a hard ask for Premiership winning coach Michael Marum. Marum was responding to questions on FM 100's Talkback show, hosted by Douglas Dimagi.
Obviously, would have worked out where the areas that need to be improved on, whether it be on attack or defense, or where is it?
Yeah, it's more of a attack, defense, similar thing. So we try to focus on one particular area, which is our defense, and also in attack. So problem with attack, after the captain, he doesn't train Tuesday until Thursday. So that's for him to come in and train with the rest of the team Thursday, Friday before game day. That's, we need him out there training Tuesday, but because of his knee and also the young players that are around him.
With the crop of young bloods filling in the vacuum left by the likes of rampaging forwards Stanton and Wellington Albert, to name a few, leadership in controlling the game lies on the shoulders of halfback and skipper Ase Boaz. whose presence and ability to direct traffic lays the platform for the team to effectively play out their game plan. The question of running up and meeting the opposition in defense may seem to be a good strategy. As asked by FM 100 Douglas Dimagi, Marum replied with this.
Training, we try to help the players now to, go up in line and meet them, but there's a lot of things that you probably need to look at. It's not the tackle alone, so are you getting off, that sort of thing. So, and again, the process is really, you can't jump one, so your line has to be shared, and then we have to go up together. And if someone breaks that line, that's it. So, but yeah, and that's something that the new boys are really struggling with. So and again, that first contact where you see players bouncing off tackles, just like shoulder charging, that sort of thing. So it's going to take a while there.
It sure is going to take a while, but again, building pressure in the form of attack may well be the team's greatest asset.
Last weekend's game, we had 69% of the completion, so the opposition had 64. But then when they ended, they won the game. So that's just coming back to us, our halves. They need to be creative with the football. They need to be directing forwards. And again, we need the forwards to go up and set the foundation for them. But that's just it happens, and then it goes off again. But you just have to be consistent in that. Yeah.
The most noticeable play that stirs up gossip among the fans is the sloppy ball handling or poor ball security that has cost the team dearly.
And I think we had 20 drop balls there, so the errors especially. Second game we went down 17, and then we got, third game we went 14. 2 weeks ago we had 8 errors, and then last weekend we got 10 errors again. So, but we, there's positive signs in that. The players are now, controlling the football a bit more. So, yeah.
With this said, the Hunters will host the visiting South Logan Magpies, who have never won a match against Marum's men since 2014. Having the home advantage, will the Hunters improve on ball security and maintain a clean sheet against the visitors? It will all be decided on game day at the National Football Stadium tomorrow. Shane Saroya, National EMTV Sports.
Trukai Sports continues with more sporting action after the break. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. To NRL, and the coach is calling it one of the biggest wins of his career. Yes, the Warriors have once again shown incredible determination to beat the table-topping St. George Illawarra team at Mount Smart Stadium. In the theme of this NRL season, they have defended stoutly, holding off the Dragons for a 2012 win.
He's won premierships with other NRL teams and the World Cup with the Kiwis. But this round 7 win with the Warriors, one of Stephen Kearney's coaching favourites.
Ranks up there, way up there.
It took just 3 minutes for the Warriors to rattle the cage of the NRL leaders.
It's Maxim Borodin for the line, it's a try! Oh, what a start for the home team! A dream start!
And if the start was impressive, the desperation in defence for the rest of the half even more so. While the Warriors missed a whopping total of 63 tackles, they repelled wave after wave of Dragons' fire, including that of try-scoring menace Matt Duffy to take a 10-0 lead at the break.
Duffy's dropped it. The pressure from Hugh has rattled the youngster again.
They just showed a tremendous amount of courage, against the top of the table side, and the team with the best attack in the competition that they just found a way to keep them out.
While the Dragons closed the gap to 4 soon after half-time, the Warriors showed determination that's become accustomed to this head-turning season. 2 second-half tries, the last with some dazzle and skipper's springs, securing their 6th win.
I didn't know I could jump, so I just went for it, and it just happened out.
He knows he can jump. He wears a basketball singlet and hats everywhere, so that's what it looked like to me. NBA Finals.
And after just 7 weeks into the season, the NRL Finals are something the Warriors are being touted for, to no notice of Coach Kearney.
It's round 7, and there's 26 rounds.
That challenge is Wednesday's Anzac Day tradition against the Storm, a fixture the Warriors have only won twice.
And that story wraps up Trukai Sports for tonight. Up next, your weather details for tonight and tomorrow. Stay tuned for that.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
Looking at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region only, cloudy with thunderstorms in Port Moresby, Daru, Kerema, and cloudy with some showers in Alotau and Popondetta.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
And that's the news, sports and weather for today, Saturday the 21st of April 2018. On behalf of the entire EMTV News team, pleasant viewing. Good night.